Welcome to Dave's Daily Journal. I've been doing really good, really well. I'm keeping up with everything I need to do for the doctors and stuff like that. Sometimes I overshare when I don't want to. That's what I've been working on lately, is paying attention to oversharing. Sometimes it's like I don't mean to, sometimes I do. So like I said, I've been paying attention to oversharing and just doesn't need to be things that people don't need to know everything about me. That's what I'm learning. And like I said, I listen to audiobooks and not just self-help, but Buddhism philosophy, and I like Buddhism philosophy is really good. I like their lingo. Like one thing about Buddhism, it's not a religion, it's a way of life, and I like all the stuff. I'll never become a Buddhist, but I like their ways and stuff like that. It's really good. I like it. And like that's one thing I'm working on. Like I was paying attention to it today a little bit and yesterday. It's in the morning. I go to bed later in the day and get up later in the afternoon because I'm just a night person. I like the night person. And I really don't have anything to do today, so I don't have to get up too early anyway. So, but yeah, that's what I'm learning is I got to work on over my oversharing. Sometimes it's too much oversharing, and it doesn't help me or the other person if I just ramble on and not pay attention to what I'm saying. So that's about what I'm working on, is paying attention to what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And like I said, I'm doing everything I got to do, getting things done. And like I said, what changed me was just listening to the audiobooks and podcasts, all kinds of stuff, positive stuff. And that's what I'm learning. I can't remember this brain doctor's name, but he calls them ants. I forget what the acronym stands for, but it's basically for negative thoughts. You got to work on those ants, and that's what I'm working on. They're getting better. They're getting really good. So, but like I said, with what I'm working on, I'm hoping it helps the doctor figure things out. So, and that's one thing I'm getting better on is I don't feed into the cigarettes as much as I used to. Like I try to see, well, I don't smoke as much. That's what I meant. I don't smoke as much as I used to. And what I'm learning is wherever my attention goes, that's where I feed the most. Is where my attention goes. So I try to schedule my attention where it's more important. Like the other day, I was almost out of cigarettes, so I kind of like do what I could do. Then my brother helped me, or took me out to get some tobacco and some odds and ends I needed, so got that taken care of. But I don't smoke so much. I go out like every hour or so for a cigarette or two. So, and cigarettes are expensive. The tobaccos, if you buy it and roll your own, it's not that expensive, but it still adds up after a while. So it's one thing I want to cut back on: smoking, dipping, and some other stuff I do. Like I got 20 years sobriety of everything else that I used to do. So I got sobriety. I know how it works, but sometimes I think the personality falls in the way. Sometimes I get addicted to anything easy. But that's what I'm learning is just keep going forward, just keep working on it. And one thing I learned, any step backwards, I can use those tools to go forward. Like stuff that I use today, like peer support lines, I use them. I haven't been down there in a long time, but I used to use Wellness Respite, I think that's what it was called. I haven't used it in a couple of years, so I'm not sure if that's the right name, but that was really a good place. I got help there, and what was nice, you had 10 days of just see a staff for an hour and worked on what you had to work on, so that was nice. Wellness Respite, I think it's called. I'm not sure if that's the right name, but I think it's Wellness Respite. So I used to go there a lot until a couple years ago, and I haven't gone down there. And what's nice, that when they call see if you go down there, and then you got to call every day just in case they got an opening, then you go right down. It's like, and they come I don't know if they still do. When I went, they would come pick you up and bring you down there. And that was nice too, getting a ride down there. Especially now, I don't have a car, so I might do that again. Look for the number. I know I probably got it somewhere. Like I said, I'm doing things more responsible too, and I'm taking care of bills better than I used to, because I see everything different. And like I said, I got my blood work back from the doctor, and I looked at him like, yeah, that does not look good. I don't know a lot about with any of the stuff, but I was like, yeah, that's not where it's supposed to be, so that's not good. So I'm paying more attention to what I got to do to better myself, like getting better with the smoking and dipping and keeping tabs of the coffee, cigarettes, and all that. and I've been paying more attention to my sugar because that was high. So I'm doing things that better myself, and I'm enjoying it because that's one thing I'm learning. Life is simple. We complicate it sometimes. That's what I'm learning. I definitely complicate it too much. And one thing I'm trying to work on is not feeding into the negativity, and it's not just everywhere. It's just like, it's like, doesn't help me if I feed into it. So like it's everywhere sometimes. So I'm learning not to feed into negativity, and I've gotten a lot better with it. And one thing I struggle with that I've gotten better with too is like if somebody doesn't text me back or call me back right away, I'm like, oh, are they mad? They this, they that. Like I said, I'm not the only one who deals with it, so I'm learning school tools to get better with it. And so like if I text somebody, I don't really text much, but if I call somebody or text somebody, I just try to like, it's no big deal. If they don't answer, they got their life, they got stuff that they got to get done. So I'm not everybody's priority. So, and I'm grateful I'm learning that too, because it used to bother me, but now it doesn't bother me that much. Now it's like, it is what it is. And that's what changed for me is I changed my mindset on everything. Mindset makes me or breaks me. So my whole mindset's changed in the last couple of years. And one thing I'm grateful for what I go through, because it's called Manifati. I can never say the word right, but it's called love your fate. So I love my fate. So whatever it is, it is. I can't change it. So whatever happens, happens. And like I watch all kinds of videos about spirituality, not just spirituality, all kinds. Like I said, self-help, Buddhism and stuff. And that's what I'm learning about. Not talk about that as much, because some people, if you don't understand it, you're going to understand it. And how I'm getting better and stuff like that, that's too much oversharing with people, so I got to stop doing that. But like I said, I'm getting better with it. So then I've been trying to pay attention to it more and more, because a lot of people don't need to know my business because they got their own business they got to worry about. So that's what I'm working on, is just trying to stay in my lane and not overshare and like not burden people with my issues because they got their own issues to deal with. So that's what I'm working on too. It's not oversharing. And like I said, I'm going to pay attention more today because I was thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, yeah, I overshare too much. And I burden people with my issues sometimes. So I got to stop doing that. I've been thinking about that today and this morning, because it's morning right now. So I've been thinking about that too, paying attention to it and stuff like that. And I'm doing better, and I just got to work on oversharing and burning people too much with my issues because they have their own life. I got to work on that. But like I said, the self-help books and stuff like that, I can look up things how to work with that too, not oversharing. So that's what I got to work on. Thank you. And this was Dave's Daily Journal.